Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 7 of my full platinum walkthrough for the Surge. Right, we're starting off in the Nucleus Ops area. This is where we left off in the previous video. Now we're going to go and run all the way back to the very beginning of the game. That's essentially what we're doing in this one. So this one's just kind of called backtracking. So we're just cleaning up before moving on towards the end of the game. So if you go up, what I'm going to do here, if you look on the right hand side of the options menu here, you can see your kind of rankings on each type of weapon. So my idea was to, as we go back, to use some of the other weapons that we've got and get the proficiency up on those. So this is a staff, this is the Spitfire rod. It doesn't go too well, so after a while I actually change and just completely scrap the idea, because obviously the enemies are stronger, the weapons aren't particularly very strong in themselves, and the proficiency's down, and they're slower. So obviously I'm used to the twin rigged ones, so it's a lot quicker. So it doesn't go too well. So I'll quickly switch back and then just concentrate on actually getting done. So there was an audio log there. We'll do Nucleus later on. I did just run into here just to kind of save it. So we'll come up and we'll start Nucleus properly in the next video once we've got everything we need backtracking wise. So we're going back down into Executive Forum and running all the way back to the start of the game, and that's where we're going to start. What we're going to do basically is to find these Nano Cores. So they're the top upgrade material. You need certain amounts for different upgrades. So for a weapon you need 3 Nano Cores. For the body part of the armor you need 3. For each appendage, is that the right word? Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, arm, legs, you need 1 each for those to get that to the top, and then you need 2 for the headgear. So it doesn't matter which armor you're wearing, whichever one you're using, just need to get it fully upgraded. So that's what we're doing. There are 14 of these Nano Cores in each game. 14, 16. It could actually be 16. There's 16. We only need 12 basically. So we're not going to find all of them, because we don't need all of them. There are extra ones if you want to go and get them. We don't get the ones in biolabs and the ones in where we've just been, Executive Forum, because they're a lot higher. Because I've put there, you can see the core power. That's what power you need to be, level basically you need to be to open up the container that contains them. So we're going to do a little bit of farming to get up to level 75. I do it. It's up to you whether you do it, or you can just do it as you kind of go by killing the enemies as you go. Maybe you want to try the weapon proficiency thing as well. I'm actually going to do that in New Game Plus, because I did manage to do it last time very quickly at the beginning of New Game Plus, because they give more proficiency per kill and they're very easy enemies. So I'll do it then, once I realise shortly that it's just not going to happen. So I did die. I have changed back to the twin rig now. I'm just going to go here and upgrade. I forgot we actually have some scrap here. So I'm going to do some upgrades, get all of the armor that I'm currently wearing to the top that it can go right now without using a Nano Core. So that's all the weapons and armor up to the top part. So if you need level 4 stuff, you will need to go back to Executive Forum. And those guys with the big axes, they're the guys you're going to be looking for. And yeah, you should be pretty much, if you've been going along killing enemies and chopping the right parts off, you should be well up there with the parts. And of course we do need to craft the black Cerberus gear as well. Now, it's very expensive to craft the top version of any sort of armor, especially black Cerberus. So I don't do it, but I'm going to recommend you actually spend some time in the first area of the game and farm for the amount of parts that you need to craft the black Cerberus gear, because you can get the lowest end stuff in the beginning of the game. So it's going to be the cheapest for you. I managed to get everything crafted but the chest, so I'll do that in the next video as we go through Nucleus. But apart from that, we're all pretty much up to date. We do need to get to level 85 at some point as well, but that will happen. I mean, it'll probably happen at the end of this playthrough or into the next one, so that doesn't really matter. It'll happen pretty quickly. So I'm trying again with this staff. It's just so much slower. It's actually quite an interesting weapon because it does hit them with the fire there. But yeah, it's just so slow, what I'm used to. So we're just going to skip that and run on. Past ops that you're very familiar with at this point, and all the way back to the start of the game. Do I fight this one? I think I actually do, and then at that point I think, no, this is just going to take too long. I do use this weapon in the first area because obviously the enemies are very weak in that area. But yeah, it's just so slow compared to what I'm used to. And this is the staff. These are relatively quick. You still have the big one-handed or the twin-handed weapons that are really slow. So this is not going well at all. I don't know. Let me know what type of weapon you're using. I just find the slower weapons far too slow. Obviously that makes sense, but just not even. Yeah, I've had enough at this point. Just not even worth it. Maybe because it's not hitting that particularly hard because of the proficiency, I don't know, or that it's not upgraded. Or maybe it's just the playstyle I'm used to, being quick. So I'm going to go back down this lift and then we're going to use the maglev. We've still got the weapon proficiency for the staff, so that's good. Like I said, I'll farm it in New Game Plus. I'll let you know when I'm going to do it. I'll not show it, but I'll just let you know, right, I'm going to farm weapon proficiency on each weapon that I don't already have it up to 5. And that's where we'll do it. Yep, skip these, not bothered. I'll keep it on for the start because they are very weak. So yeah, here we are back at the where we fought the first packs, the first boss. So I'll kill enemies along the way because they are going to be pretty easy. So at this point, start cutting pieces off. It might be a bit difficult because obviously your weapons are going to be a higher level, so you'll kill them pretty quickly. You could always use a weaker weapon if that's the case. Yeah, start cutting things off, and when you get to ops, take note of what you need to craft the bottom version of the Black Cerberus gear and farm it all now. It will cost you a lot less in scrap along the way. So it's something I would advise now. It's something I don't do, but I'm telling you to do, well, advising you to do it, because it'll save a lot of messing around if you're quite far away, because it does cost quite a lot at the top end. Talking 40,000-50,000 for a chest gear, something like that. So yeah, it's a lot. But it's all relative because the enemies at the end of the game give you a lot. These guys do not. Hardly anything. So I'm going to run all the way back, and that's where we're going to start. There's only one Nano Core in this section. You might remember where it is. It's right at the start, actually. So I'm just going to store these. I could have left them on me, to be honest.
Happy to help.
So if you run to where you come to get the power core originally, and down here and through these doors, that's where they are. I'm killing a few as we go just to do the proficiency, because obviously they die extremely quickly. Oh, could have cut a piece off there, but never mind. Yeah, the proficiency you get from these guys in New Game Plus is... It seems like a lot more. It definitely didn't take me that long. Like if I was to farm up to proficiency 5 here, it would seem to take a long time. It does not go up very much at all. I should get up to 3 here after killing him. Yeah, up to 3. But it just seems like we're not really getting anywhere. And then here's our Nano Core. So you do need to be core power 55. You should be 55 at least by now. So you can overcharge that, and then it'll just open up and you can grab these 2 Nano Cores here. So it's 2 for each one of these you crack open. So the next one we're going to do, well, the next thing we're going to do is farm scrap until you reach core power 75. Now, you can do this in many different places. I do it at the beginning of Central Production B. There's 2 drones, the ones with the legs there. They give you 4,000 to 5,000. I'll have a look afterwards how much it is, plus the 2,000 for the tail. So it's quite a lot. And if you just keep your scrap accumulating, you'll get a better multiplier as well. Obviously put the reclamation buddies on. It should not take you long. You shouldn't be too far off. It seems like a lot if you've got to go up 20 levels or what have you, but it really shouldn't take you too long. A few runs, you'll get proficient at killing those drones as well, and then it'll become almost fun. Almost fun farming, what do you know? So we're just making our way back now. We're done with this area forever. But I'm killing a few of these on the way, and it's... yeah, if you watch the proficiency in the bottom corner now, it just doesn't seem to be working. It's hardly any there. It'd take a very long time to get that up. Nope, we actually cut something off there. We've got a leg. Up we go, back to central production. I think I died at the start here. Did I switch back? I did switch back and I still died. I don't know why. Oh, it's because of the drone at the top of the stairs to the right. So I'm dealing with the guy on the left. The one from the right comes in and takes me down, which was very fun. So I did die just here. So that's why that's there. Do we stay and fight? Yes, we do, because we do need scrap, so might as well. And these drones are a pretty good way of getting some a decent amount. Yes, you get 2,500 for one of those guys, and then one of these. I'm not. This is not where we're going to farm it, but we might as well do them along the way. Yeah, so we got 4,500 for one of those, and then the ancillary call on top. So call it 7,000-ish, 6,500. For every single one, so shouldn't take too long. Just do this one quickly as well. Now I'm not going to show the whole farming process. It does take me about half an hour or so, not even that, I don't think. 20 minutes to half an hour. And should have a decent multiplier now as well. So if you can equip all of the reclamation buddies that you've got just to help with that percentage multiplier. And then you can sell these off now. So if you, these blue ones, what have we got here? We've got 10 of them at least. So these are, that's 20,000 scrap right there. And these are the tails that we've been cutting off. Now I said don't scrap the other stuff, and I would still stand by that. Don't scrap the other stuff. This stuff we know we can get one of these. These increase core power, so if you need extra power, you usually find you're able to balance it without, but you can just get some more from the tail. So I'm starting at, let's say, 67 there. Level 67. So 8 levels takes me about 20 minutes, half an hour, which isn't too bad. These are the top levels as well. You can get a minimum to sort of 70 and then do the rest as you kind of go, or you can do them all in one go now quickly.
Be careful out there.
So it's up to you. You might even be higher, I don't know. So yeah, what did I do? Oh, embarrassingly. Yeah, it's the drone from the right hand side again. So what I do is I fight this guy. He should be fairly simple, but it's not going down so well this time. He gives 2,500, and then you've got one here. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, just got to wait for that moment. This is the moment, and then you can get that big rally in and knock it back. Take the tail off. Corner it and finish it. Make sure you pick the tail up every time as well. Got stuck on that one. That's quite annoying. So yeah, just these 3 enemies basically. That's all I do. These 2 drones down here. Come on. And I do get better, much quicker and more. Yeah. The thing to do with these is run in and not be too scared. Watch for that first attack that they do, and then just go in, and you should be able to lock them into a corner pretty quickly. But if they do get on top of you, it could be a bit of a mess. This is really not going so well, is it? Definitely not the cleanest run anyway. Right, so I'll fight those 2, and then the guy upstairs. So you're looking at about 13, 15, just over 15,000 per run in scrap. It's probably not the best place to farm, but it's a good place to farm for where we are right now. The enemies aren't particularly difficult, so we're just going to go in, and then don't necessarily cash in your scrap like that to keep your multiplier up, but you'll need to run back here, go to the med bay, get the enemies to come back, then quickly run down and do it again. So I'm going to skip here, but that's what I kept doing until I had enough scrap to get to level 75. So I'm just going to run back now. It was about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. Back and forth.
Do you require assistance, Warren?
And then we're up to level 75. Now, the reason I say 75, that is going to get you every single one of these Nano Core holders that we need to opened. There are ones for 80 and 85, but we can skip those because we'll have enough with up to level 75. So we're going to run around the rest of the game now, quickly get all of those, and then that's it. Going to be it for this video. Do a quick few other cleanups in R&D as well, but apart from that, that's what we're doing. So we should, well, I know I have enough to get up to level 75 now, and that's where we'll leave it. So I don't really need as many reclamation buddies around anymore, so I'm going to put extra healing injections on. I've got the better one of this, the one that turns energy into health as well. And if you remember to change the gas mask the whole time, you can always change that, because I keep it on, but you may not want to. There is a purple healing injection there as well. It's better, but it's separate, so I'm just going to keep using these blue ones. And then we have a little bit left, 2, which is not going to get us too much. I think I just put an extra health boost on and leave it at that. But this is pretty much the setup you're going to want for the final boss as well. Not that we're doing it straight away, but you want a decent, just lots of health injections. We've got 15 now, which is pretty ridiculous if you think about it. I don't know what your setup's been like. Maybe you've been using something similar to that anyway. But we can go even higher than that afterwards. Sort of 18 with the blue ones. Put a purple one in there as well. Loads of health. Shouldn't be the final boss shouldn't be too much of a problem at all with regards to running out of health. And now we're going to go and get the rest. So the extra nano cores we're going to go and do. He's run off. I do a little thing here because I did die. Not through combat, which would be quite embarrassing here. I actually fell, which is probably more embarrassing here. This guy, I was trying to fight him. I think I nearly do it again here as well. Yeah, look at that. That gap there, if you fall down there, you die. So, don't do that. And then if we run down these stairs, it's going to take us to one of the Nano Core places. So the trophy is for, there's 2 separate trophies. There's one for fully upgrading your armor set, so a full set, not separate ones. It needs to be from the same set. And then your weapon. So whichever armor set you go for, it doesn't really matter whichever one you've been working on. But it needs to be a complete set, not different helmet. It needs to be all one. So that's that was a 60, that one, wasn't it? And then we'll run over to where the mouse vending machine is. There's one there. That's got a core power of 70. We'll skip that now. So yeah, just 5 more levels, and after that we don't really need to bother with killing enemies, which is always good. Oh, missed it. Don't get too carried away. Yeah, over here in the corner. So this one's level 70. And then we're going to go off to R&D and do a few other things as well as grab the nano cores here. So we can obviously just go through this door. This is where we exited R&D the first time. So the reason we went into Nucleus just to start with was also to trigger an event that's going to happen for a trophy as well. The scientist, you may remember the old guy who hit the sort of alarm in here, he will have changed into a robot now. If you go into Nucleus, at that point he changes into a robot and then you need to come back and kill him. That's why we couldn't kill him beforehand. So we will go and do that as well as pick up some Audiologs that we weren't able to do, but we now can. So I just quickly ran up the stairs there and I went and checked on Joe's hideout, which to see if the sunglasses were there. They're not, unfortunately, or weren't. So yeah, it's definitely New Game Plus up to this point, up to R&D again, unfortunately, which does mean 3 bosses, but we're going to do it very quickly, hopefully in a sort of a video's length. I'm going to just speed run the whole game because we don't actually need to hit anything else apart from kill a boss with its own weapon and get the sunglasses. That's all we need to do. So as quickly as possible we're going to try and get through the game. So yeah, unfortunately we do have to do that. So I'm coming the normal way now that you go through R&D. This is the start up through this door here, and in that room where there's kind of loads of enemies around, that's where the Nano Core is. Don't know what I'm doing there. I'm swinging all over the place. Yeah, I thought, no, I can't be bothered with flamethrower guys. We're just going to run past those. Oh, he's got a tank on. Yep, we did get the kill, so that's good. He goes up in a real burst of flames. And then we'll quickly drop down here. So we do need to clear this room. It's going to help because the Nano Core is in this room. He almost blew himself up again. I don't know what this guy does over here. He kind of backs into these glass casings and blows himself up, which is fun. I think the flamethrower, yeah, he's following me down the stairs, which is quite annoying. I was hoping he wouldn't. I can't get the lock on this stupid drone. And then he's firing gas, so we need to get rid of the gas one first. So you can see the nano things right there. Yeah, that's perfect timing. Although he does have a shield on him, which is not great. Yeah, that's crazy. That did you see the drone? Sort of, it does this weird. You don't see anything hit you, but it sends you flying. I have no idea about that. And then we'll quickly overcharge this. Get another 2. That's going to give us 6 of the 12 that we need. We'll get 10 in this video, and then the final ones are in Nucleus. It's a really low one actually. It's about 50 or something like that. So we'll get that there. So we'll actually only get 10 in this video. And it will be quite expensive to get those levels as well. So we will need to do those as we go. So we'll need to make the Black Cerberus suit. Hopefully you did that. You managed to do that cheaply. If not, you'll need to do it a bit more expensively. And we also need to do the upgrades, which can cost a bit as well. And then finally level. So I'm just running back down here. So there's a few ways to get into this room. This was obviously the most convenient because it's right next to where we were. Probably don't go in this way. You're going to find out why in a moment, but I'll give you a couple of options. So I actually forgot, you can go in where Joe's hideout is. If you go down the stairs where Joe's hideout is, and instead of going left into her hideout where the gas is, if you go right and down the stairs, there's one of these security doors. If you go through there, that's going to be a cleaner, easier way to get into this area, because there is a new enemy type in here and they are deadly if you're in a corner, which you're about to find out. Or I'm about to find out the hard way. So that's the way I leave. So if you want to know which way that is, that's the way I leave on the way out here. But I do die So I had to do a quick run back. And if you do die, you can also use the lift behind the med bay. Yeah, they just straight in on you. Look at the state of this. Like, I can't get anywhere. I'm completely stuck. That's obscene. So yeah, you've not got much room, but I did come back this way because I did have some scrap. So I've quickly just faded in there, and I want to try and get past him or start attacking. They're actually fairly weak, these guys, when you start attacking. They don't have too much health, but the problem is that they are extremely aggressive and quick, and if there's two of them, that's even worse. He's got no health. Come on, at least give me the kill on that one. Right, so when you're one-on-one, they're not too bad. They like to do this spin attack, which you can just kind of dodge, and then if you go for their head, which is usually blue, they will actually put an armor over the top of it, which so that's why it was blue, and then it turns yellow. So you need to kind of switch the parts that you're attacking, because they will try and armor the part that you're attacking, so that you obviously don't damage them as much. And here's Lawrence Murphy log number 14, so make sure you grab that. That's the reason we're in here. There's one more of these guys. These are the enemies for Nucleus, so we'll get used to these. They look a lot worse than they actually are. Obviously, they're not too bad one-on-one, but if you're trapped in a corner, they can actually do quite a lot of damage. We're going to get their arm schematic here and the weapon. So the Metamorphing Talons and the Chrysalis arm gear. And then this log here is number 17 of Lawrence Murphy's set. So make sure you grab that. So we should have 4 of Lawrence Murphy's sets. You can check the Audiolog sets in your inventory as well, by the way. I think I mentioned that right at the start. And then you've got 2 doors on the way out. So the door here is the one leading to Joe's place. I completely forgot that this one was here, to be honest. I could have checked Joe's place on the way out, but there you go. So that one's the beginning. That's where you drop down. There, dead ahead is where you drop down. So that's Joe's place. Or alternatively, you can come down here. And this is the dark blue room, which you probably don't want to exit this way, but I thought I'd just show you. So you'll remember this, where all the enemies were. We're not going to go that way. There was a tunnel with a bunch of enemies in. We're not going to go that way, obviously. Don't know what I'm thinking here, but no, don't go that way. Go up here. This is the easy way. So yeah, unfortunately, no sunglasses. That drone's doing some work for that machine then. So we've just got one final thing to do in R&D, and that's go and kill the doctor. Should only take a moment to go and do that. We're not going to fight any of those bots because they're quite annoying. So in through here, that one was kind of stood up and then it fell down, which was a bit weird. So you'll notice now that you're actually able to do a lot more aggressive fighting as well. You'll notice you won't take as much damage. You deal more damage. These guys that you were probably quite worried about when you first came through here aren't really a thing anymore. They're quite easy. So you managed to get the head module here, which was a bit different. And if they do hit you, they don't seem to take as much damage anymore, which is great. And then you have 15 healing items, so yeah, it doesn't seem so bad anymore. So I'm just going to quickly skip all this. He's back again. He's the skidding one who waits for you here. And then we're going to go up. And then we're going to go and see the doctor. And all you need to do is kill him. That's it. Don't need to speak to him. I don't think you can. So I'm not sure where he'll be hiding, but he's here for me. So just hit him until he dies. Could have got the chop off, but he pushed me back. So we'll just get rid of it. Oh, we do get it. The head comes off. There is an audio log in this chest here. But we don't need it. It's just a random one. So there, once you kill him, you'll get the trophy. Homo Machinalis. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea what that means. But there you go. So next we're going to go back to Central Production B and make our way back. So the core power 75. You may have realised that I actually did miss one. Well, I didn't miss it, I skipped it on purpose. The core Nano Core that was right next to where we were farming those drones and machines. It's number 75 and it's on the way out, so that's why I didn't do it yet. which core power 75. So yeah, basically we're just going to run back to Nucleus now and grab that core along the way. And that should put us at 10 in total. So we can use one. I will use one. Well, I'll use 3. One set. Upgrade 1. And that's the weapon. Because obviously you want that top weapon upgrade. Extra damage. So I'm just going to do a suicide run. Just run all the way through back. We don't need to fight anything at this point. You should have some extra scrap on you. Obviously you've been fighting things along the way. So if you didn't get to 75, you should be able to do a decent chunk of it now. That got a bit scary there for a moment. And then back up to ops. Getting turned around again. It's not like I've been up here 100 times before. I'm stuck. So yeah, you can upgrade the weapon now if you want. You do have enough to do all upgrades as long as you don't spread them out. Remember, stick to one weapon only, fully upgraded with the nano cores. And then one armor set only, so one of each armor set. Otherwise you'll run out, and if you have to go into New Game Plus and fully upgrade a weapon, you'll need to fully upgrade it again. You know, if you know what I mean. You'll need to go through all of the stages, so you'll need to go through 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 and then use a nano core. So that means you'll have to go into the end game stuff again. So make sure you don't overuse nano cores. If you're worried about it before using them, you can do a backup save, use it to get the weapon trophy, so that's using 3 of them, and then you can download the save that you've got, and then you should have the full amount again, and then you can go for the armor set. If there's whatever, if you're paranoid about not having enough, which you don't need to be, but for whatever reason, you can get the trophies separate. You don't need to get them all together. So here's the overcharge number 75 on this one. And that should be nano cores 10. There we go. So just 2 more which are in Nucleus, and it's a really low powered one, so we'll get those, and that's enough for us to fully upgrade everything we need to fully upgrade. So it's just a quick run back to Nucleus now. I say quick, it's a decent jaunt. And that's where we'll pick up at the beginning of the next video and do that area. And that is the final area of the game, so we'll do both endings there. And just tidy everything up and just leave us those 2 trophies for the New Game Plus. So we can run through it as quickly as possible. You can actually get through the game pretty damn quickly if you're not going here and there to do this and that. So yeah, direct run through the game is actually very quick. So try and be as quick as possible. So you see there, the trophy I'm going to get next is right tool for the job. That is for fully upgrading a weapon. Doesn't matter whichever one's your favourite. Just any weapon using nano core. It's always 3 for a weapon, 2 for the headgear, 3 for the body, and 1 for each arm, leg. 12 in total for everything. So if you do need more nano cores, we didn't go to I can't remember the name of it. Resolve Biolabs. There's one in there. It's a level 80 in that one, if I remember rightly. If you need 2 more, you can go to Resolve Biolabs. They are down. So if you just follow the normal path, so if you drop down that tube where you started when you were outside, you drop down into the tube. And then you carried on through the sewer system and you came out into a room where we've got the comic book, the Iron Mouse comic book. It's in that room there. It's a level 80, so if you need 2 more. And then there's also 2 more here in Executive Forum. They are in the server room, and it's a level 85. So you'll need to do some more farming for whatever reason. So if you do overspend somehow and you need some more, there are 4 more available, but they are expensive. You'll need to get up to 80 and 85 respectively. So yeah, don't do it. Stick at 75, that's all you need to do. Just run past him and run for the lift. Oh, I don't know what hit me then. So when it comes to actually doing Nucleus in the next video, we'll start in where we left off. The reason I start and leave off there is so the game saves properly, because you may have noticed if you quit out, it does kind of set you back sometimes. It can be a bit annoying. So we'll actually come back to this lift and start here, and I'll because there is an audio log and things like that, so we'll get all that directly ahead there on the floor. We'll get all that later. This is an override. This one doesn't have nano cores in it. It opens this door here. I'm probably not going to do it because I'm not going to be at level 80, but if you are, you can do it. There's an enemy down in there, and then just go downstairs, and underneath the stairs there is one of the best health injections, the purple one. So if you want to go and get that. Now the reason we're doing it's an elevated place, this one, and you use this lift system as you go up. The problem is you can't really ride it up and down. It's not like that sort of lift. So once it's at the top, you need to call it back down, and then you have to go back up to the top to call it again. It's a bit weird how they did it, but never mind. Right, so I'm going to do some of the Black Cerberus armor now. So do your cheapest option. Hopefully you manage to get some of the cheap options and you're able to do that. So the chest I don't have. I could have just done a few more of that and I would have been okay. But you can see it is quite expensive if you have to do the top ones. So I'll do the top armor eventually. The top chest piece as we go through this area. So I've just got to do that one. So I'll have to go to Mark 4 unfortunately, but it is what it is. That's why I said try and do it early on. Do the cheaper versions back at the beginning of the game. And then we'll do the upgrade. So I'm going to fully upgrade the weapon. That's going to give us right tool for the job. So that's the top upgrade for this playthrough. And then we can do some arms and things. You should be able to do a few more. But again, it's very expensive. So it's nearly 18,000 per arm, 20,000 per leg. So it does mount up, but we're going to get quite a few scrap going through this area. So we'll work on that as we go. So don't worry if you don't have enough. Right. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.